All right, what I wanted to do is show you a little trick. So I'm going to show you guys this, but don't show anybody else. Okay, so here's my material that I have on there, okay, and I've put this on this little toe, so it's on here. Now I want to get it on here. Well, it's pretty easy to assign the material over there, okay. I just got to go here and assign this on there, and now this material's on that too. However, it doesn't have all the coordinates that are on this one, okay. So here's a little trick on how to get the coordinates over there. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to clone this. So I'm going to go Shift and I'm going to move this, okay, and I'm going to make a copy. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to align this to that one. So I pick this one. This is my line tool here, and I click on it, and it's going to align it over there. Now what I want to do is kind of rotate it. I'm using my angle snap so that I've got it kind of going in the same orientation. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect orientation of it. So something like that is fine. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go down here to the Edit Poly, and then what we're going to do is we're going to attach this piece underneath onto this piece. So what you're going to do is hit attach, and then we click on this piece and it attached it to this one. So now it has all these coordinates on it. So now I go to element and I pick this original piece and I delete it. And so now I've put all of the same coordinates that were on this one are now on this one. Okay. Now you're going to have an issue that you get to deal with. First of all, Vertex Paint is going to be an issue. And I want you to see how all this black is in weird places. And that's because when we're painting on vertices, all these vertices are numbered. And this doesn't have the same numbers that this had. So this Vertex Paint is messed up. But the rest of this is okay. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to really quickly redo the Vertex Paint. So what you want to do is fill it with white. So have white here and then click this paint all, and that's like a fill button, and this needs to be at 100%. And now it's gotten rid of all the Vertex painting that's on it. So now I can come in here and now I can start Vertex painting on it. Now sometimes you'll get this kind of a weird thing that's happening here. And what you're going to, it's because you got the show end result on, which shows at the end. So it's like we need to go click off and then back on it. And then that should clear that out. And now I'm just painting back on it. Now I can go up here and get my active shade going so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm starting to come in here and start painting things. And of course, you know, I like to have a tendency to paint a little bit big at first. Okay. Then I click this, which blurs everything. Okay. Now, the reason it's not kind of looking correct is because I have all this other stuff turned off right now. So if I click this, now it's going to turn all those on, and now we're going to start getting our crazing back in here. And then of course we can come in here and paint with white, you know, and take things out, you know, just build it up the way we want it. Now, what we probably don't want is this same little sticker on here, because this was the sticker that I put on this one over here. All you have to do is come in here to the coordinate, and in my particular case, it's this coordinate, and I didn't name it. I should have named it. All I have to do is turn that off. And now that sticker is still in my material chain, but it doesn't have any way to project it on there because I turned that projection off. And so now, sorry, I had that off screen. You couldn't see it. So I can go back to my painting vertex. And see if you get this where you can't see it. Okay, turn this off. then you have to click off of it and then back on it. And then you should be able to start painting on it again. Then you can turn this back on where you can kind of see what's happening as you're painting on it. Now, in my particular case, I don't want it on these connectors. They're going to be metal, but that's okay. I'm going to let it go on it right now, and then later I'll come back and make the metal shader, and I'll put back on that. Now, another thing that's going on, and I don't know if you can see it here, but I got some weirdness going on here, and that's because of this chamfer, okay? And so I'm having kind of the same thing going on. Is when I go up to, I'm going to turn the chamfer off, and you'll see what I had done was I'd gone into my edit poly here. I'd gone into edge. I'm going to deselect them all. And then, why is my, should be able to, okay, it was acting a little weird. So it wasn't allowing me to grab these edges. So all I did is I just made sure I saved it. I shut Max down, opened it back up. It's just a bug. Okay, so I've got the edge, and then I want to go to selection. I want to select hard edges. That's where I'm putting the chamfer. And then I don't want, I'm holding on the Alt key to deselect. I don't want on this. And I'm going to turn on backface cull. No, I don't want to turn on backface cull, but I want to make sure that I don't hit any of these edges on this toe part. Okay, there's what I want. And then now when I turn that chamfer back on, then it's going to chamfer those edges, which is what I wanted. And let's see what's going on here. I don't like what it's doing there, but it's not going to hurt me in the end. And so now let's turn mapping back on. Let's bring back up our active shade. And my Vertex Paint. And now I'm back to painting and show end result. And that's too much there, so I'm going to come in here and pull this down a little bit. I don't want this to seem like a stripe. So that's starting to look pretty good there. I need to go around to the back side. And so you get, you know, the final look that you want. And then I get something that I like because it's got my shader on it. This is a little bit too much of a stripe for me right here. So I'm going to go with the gray and kind of tone that down a little bit right there, maybe a little bit right in there. I'll pull this out a little bit like so. That looks pretty good. So that's a quick way to be able to get all these coordinates back onto another piece in here. So we got the same shader, we're getting the same look. I have to redo the Vertex Paint. And, you know, when I'm using a chamfer on here, you may not be doing that. And so that would have a problem too. Because anything that is based on edges, and these are all numbered, then when you transfer from one to the other. So like the Vertex Paint will be off. This where I was doing a chamfer by selecting the edge on the poly, that's going to be off because that's based on numbers too. So if you do that, you just have to redo those real quick. But that's a quick way to be able to get all your coordinates onto a new object really quick. Okay, hopefully that helped you guys.